Hey everybody, so welcome to Joi Has Questions. Tonight I am going to be discussing why Uber is the tip of the iceberg, and before everyone wants to jump on the latest hashtag trend, we really need to think about the deeper picture here. So over the weekend, everybody was in a tizzy because it came out that Uber CEO Travis Kalanick was a supporter of Trump. He verbally said so on his social media channels, and then also how he was a part of his, I believe, small business advisory, or just his advisory board for business and economics, for companies or privatized companies in the country. Now, everyone flipped their shit. It didn't take me much, just because Uber's been messing up with my account in terms of like crediting and debiting and doing all sorts of crazy nonsense. So I already, on a personal level, had it with these clowns. But seeing this just like was really the last straw I needed to crumble, so I could be like, man, fuck this, I'm going to Lyft. So instantly I deleted my Uber app before I even thought like it was a thing to do. So subsequently, I saw a lot of people, hashtagging delete Uber, going in on Uber. They didn't do themselves any, favors when they basically said through social media, when the whole JFK controversy came through because of Trump, trying to ban everybody's aunties and uncles from getting home. Not getting to that, but even before that, basically they were like they were going to take the surge prices off. Now, in their minds, they were like, if you have any sort of common sense, we're taking off the surge prices so that everyone can, get a normal fare. But to everyone else, it looked like you all were trying to be on a come up. People flipped their shit even more so. Uber looked like an asshole. And everyone has been slowly putting all their funds over to Lyft. Here's the thing, though. People today wanted to make fun of how Kalanick wanted to dry snitch on Pepsi and Tesla and Disney. And who did I miss? Pepsi, Tesla, Disney. Yeah, basically on how, well, they're a part of the advisory board too. Now, those are rich white people problems. I don't know what that looks like. Now, in the hood, that'll get you two to the dome. I don't know how that translates in like white boy, Harvard, Yale, Ivy League dropout turned billionaire language, but it doesn't seem like anybody's going to be inviting you to their Tofurkey Thanksgiving this year, bruh. But he did make an interesting point. Even though he did it in a very self-serving, well, you can't be mad at me type of way if you're not mad at everybody else. Why are we not, having some sort of repercussions for Pepsi as well as for everyone else who is affiliated? Now, here's the problem. Disney is the parent company of Marvel, and who else? I'm missing somebody. I think it might be just Marvel. So for all of my dudes that love dragging their girlfriends and side chicks to, the matinees to go see X-Men and Spider-Man and all the other men that wear tights and save, all the white girls from falling out of trees and shit, then that's going to create a problem, because it is now a direct reflection of how money or these privatized corporations are supporting someone that is directly trying to destroy our democracy. Now, some of us would also argue, let this bitch fall, because it's high time that everyone saw America for what it was. Which, if we really are being honest, everyone has already seen America for what it was. I think the best description I can possibly give about how I've always looked at this country: America is the hoe that was sleeping with the entire basketball team, but then also trying to front because she was the president of the chastity club in high school. Like, girl, everybody know you just took down number 212 and 26, and you damn near about to fuck the coach. So stop trying to tell us how to live our lives and pretend like you're better than everyone else when we all know the truth. That's how I have always looked at the United States of America. Now, when it comes to these companies, though, everyone was so quick to hop on Lyft's bandwagon because they were like, oh, Lyft, yes, look at them coming through in this time of need. They're helping us. They're saying how they're going to donate, $1 million to the ACLU over the next 4 years. But Lyft has their main investor who invested $100 million into Lyft. Now, I do not know his full name, but I believe it is pronounced Ikihan or Ikaihan. It's something of an exotic or a very ethnic origin. It's not your typical Johnson Jones and Larry Hoover. But this gentleman was even more of a staunch supporter of Trump than Kalanick, who is the CEO of Uber, was. So everyone who has been blindly shifting all their support to Lyft, you are shifting your support to someone who even more so, who was a part of Trump's campaign and his support from onset. Like when he was just getting his name into the bowl, you know, his name, throwing his name out there as wanting to be the president of this country. I say that to say we have got to do research, y'all. Like, we cannot just rely on hashtags and hop on the first thing that we see. Like, yes, is Uber fucked up for what they did? Do they deserve the backlash and the scrutiny that they're getting? In my opinion, they do. Because on top of it, Uber has never had, like, the best holistic metrics in terms of helping their workers drive and make money and be independent contractors. They have very, very strict guidelines, which don't benefit the drivers. It benefits the country, or rather the company, and Kalanick's bottom line. It is a true capitalistic company. Duh. But at the same time, were we all enraged as we were deleting our Uber and Uber Eats accounts, as we were ordering a cherry Pepsi, or as we were ordering a Sierra Mist, or as we were ordering any other Sprite product, or rather I should say, not Coke, Pepsi products? Tesla is a little bit different because that's an extremely niche market. Like, Tesla is backed up with their latest model. It was supposed to come out in 2017. This fool ain't probably gonna make it till 2018. And also, if we really want to do other research, the CEO of Tesla, I believe his last name is Braun, or it might be Nick Braun, I don't recall specifically, but this man gets government contracts. His company actually, aside from cars, he now holds the leading amount of contracts to send things into space. So no matter what the country is, he gets contracted to do it. He is dealing with a whole nother level of wealth. Like, that is billions upon billions of dollars that he is dealing with. So do you think for a second that he is going to sit here and destroy a relationship that he has with Donald Trump when he got that type of money coming in? I'll wait while you Google him and figure it out. Because the answer is no. Like, the answer is just flat out, hell no, we won't go. I find it so crazy that the CEO of PepsiCo is a woman of color. Like, I don't want to assume she looks to be of Indian descent. And by Indian, I mean from the country of India. But for all I know, this woman can be Pakistani. She can be somewhere from another Southern Asian country. So I do not want to say, oh, she's Indian. But even looking at her, I'm like, you're okay to be on this man's council? Like, you're really okay to sit here when for a fact I know either yourself or your family or your friends or classmates, whatever, I'm pretty sure you all immigrated here. I just don't get the feeling that you were here in 1776, girl. Sorry, I don't. I'm not shocked at anything that Trump does. The one thing that I am happy to see, for all the comparisons that I have made in terms of Donald Trump being like Hitler, the one thing that separated why Hitler was able to get away with the atrocities that he was able to do was because the German people got complacent. And because on one end, they were okay with turning a blind eye to the crimes against humanity that this fool was doing, because he provided them with jobs, he did strengthen the economy, and he helped revitalize or give them a sense of nationalistic pride. Now, on the flip side, America is completely standing. I'm honestly convinced, to be quite frank, that Trump just did this to see where it would land, to test, to see just how upset or how enraged people would be. And he is quickly finding out we are not going for the fuckery. Now he just fired the Attorney General after she flat out said, I don't believe that this executive order is fully lawful. Jeff Sessions, who Coretta Scott King adamantly said should not be in any sort of federal judge position because he is shown to have biased behavior, especially against people of color, more than likely will be sworn in this week. How, Sway? How? So we have so many things going on, and the fact of the matter is we cannot be complacent, and we cannot be constantly looking to see like, oh, what did he do this hour? So much so that we're forgetting holistically the freedoms. I don't give a fuck. Like, here's the thing. I don't care what Trump says anymore. It is about what Trump does. You need to look at the policies that he's implementing, the funding that he is trying to take away from certain federally funded programs. You need to look at the relationships that he's building and the countries that he's doing this with. We need to be viewing the fact that on the 7 countries that he wanted to sit here and put on the terror list, none of them were listed as the countries that his businesses are already, doing well in. I don't see you. For someone that is so hell-bent on stopping terror, you don't have the brain of a gnat, or as the governor of Washington said, they are so incompetent they could not run a 2-car funeral, which is a very elevated way of saying your asses are dumb as hell. But even with that, Saudi Arabia wasn't on the list, and I believe it was 13 out or 12 out of the 15 terrorists that have actively in this decade done something to Americans were of that ethnicity. But amazingly, they weren't there. So I say that to say we have got to continue to look at not what he says, but what he does and the freedoms that he is trying to strip away. And as well as if we are going to sit here and demonize Uber and give them hell and say, fuck them, we're not going, and treat this like this is the Montgomery boycott, boycott of the 60s and the civil rights movement, then let's not give our dollars to another bullshit company just because we were basing this on superficial facts that we looked at and we didn't dive deeper. That's all I have to say. Tomorrow, you know what, guys? I really want something light. I just want to talk about something light. Again, thank you for your comments, your questions, everything that you have had to say. All my new subscribers. God is so good. I'm at 468 subscribers, and I don't think you all know how much that means to me. That means somewhere on this planet, 468 people give a damn about what I have to say and are encouraged by it, or even if they don't agree with it, they, like this open space that I honestly am trying to create of dialogue and discussion and us really bettering one another. Like I said, Joi Has Questions. I started this channel, I started my Instagram page because I wanted this to be a space where we can celebrate people of color, where we can celebrate our differences, where we can celebrate what makes us alike, and where we can call bullshit and do better. That's all I want this page to be about. I don't want it to be about ass shots. I don't want it to be about titties jiggling. Sorry, I don't have on a bra. I'm about to go to bed. But the point is, I want it to be about things of substance. So thank you for being on this ride with me. I definitely appreciate it. And I will see you guys tomorrow. Mwah. Love you all.